Hello everybody, hope you're doing really well. Yeah, this is a bit old school, me sitting in the car. It happens to be quite windy out there at the moment, so I'm waiting for it to die down before I show you this majesty of chalk caves or adits. This is going to be a running theme that I'm probably going to speak about. So let's just give a brief context, and then we're going to do this a little bit backwards today, so we'll just give you a brief context. So we are somewhere in Kent, without giving the location away. But what blows my mind about this place is that you're on a road, and it's there. As in, you are on the road, and you are there. In fact, I will show you from here. This is the road, one of the main roads, and our caves are hidden there. Literally in there. And they're not that difficult to find, but what's really great about them is that they are part of my continuation on this channel to document man-made caves, chalk adits, really, although I label them as caves on the channel, because really the reason why I do that, and I'll probably explain it in the video as we go along, just in case, is that because they were used for working. Now, we're in an area, quite a very rural area. In fact, without giving too much away, one of my most popular videos on the channel, the area, in other words, the area that I'm very familiar with, this area, finally had the opportunity to come here, which is absolutely fantastic. I say finally, I get very distracted on this channel, as you know, I'm everywhere. But today, we're going to explore them. They might not be the best caves in the world ever, but they are historically important nonetheless, because they are a part of Kent's rural landscape and its heritage and its history. In other words, these chalk caves were used for agricultural purposes. Now, we've covered this a lot on this channel with chalk adits / caves that were hacked into and then basically mined out in small quantities for the agricultural area, mostly for farming, although obviously, as we know, with limestone, etc, etc. I've spoken about that on other ones, and I've always tried to make it very clear that sometimes the purpose can be a little bit misconstrued in terms of, you know, these ones, for example, the only historical documentation was recent. I'd say recent. It was in 2012, so it depends when you watch this, really. In 2012, they'd done a survey on them, and there's meant to be 6 little adits, chalk caves, but one of them's, I wouldn't say it's a substantial one, but one of them's a little bit different, but we'll find that when we go in there. Anyway, I have spoken for way too long now. Let's do what Phoenix History always does. Let's just go in there, explore it, and document it, more importantly. And I want you to come along with me. So again, forgive me if I don't give away openly the location of this place, but just understand that this is a form of historical documentation, and it's just another chalk cave adit to tick off the list, a series of them. So without further ado, let's just go. Yeah, come on. Wow, so we're here, and the first cave we're going to check out is very brilliant. Very brilliant. Yes, that's a word. Very brilliant it is. So these man-made caves. Wow. A couple of like seating ledges there, sort of thing. Loads and loads of rubbish. As you can see, Coke bottles, flasks of coffee, but when you look up, it's this bulb of chalk that you can see where they've created that, and then what's happened is that the natural chalk's fallen down. But isn't this beautiful? Wow, what a cave to begin with. First one, or adit, shall we just sort of politely say. Isn't that brilliant? Now, on the map, it was meant to be 6, I think. But I haven't looked round yet, so I haven't actually had the opportunity to count them yet. So it'll be interesting to see if all 6 are still here. So we'll check that out when we go around. So we'll just label this one as number 1 for the moment. But what a perfect example. Wow, it's huge. Absolutely brilliant. How crazy. How simply brilliant. So there's a little RD there, initials. And then up there, looks like that somebody's done a natural ledge there. How amazing. And then when we look behind us, simply brilliant. Wow. Well, let's go find the others. Come on. Wow, cave number 2, or adit number 2. It's kind of weird because they're practically caves for most people, but they're technically chalk adits. I don't really ever explain that in videos because I'm trying to speak in layman's terms, although these are, like we said before, used for farming and agriculture. But it's just... It just gets better and better. I can't believe it. The bulb on that one that we refer to as the bulb, the erosion technically in the mining that's happened, amazing. And the thing is, the chalk is so well kept in these that it's hard to get the definition because it's just so linear. And what I love about this is you've got this old wooden frame that clearly was used as a door for whoever's use it was, one of the owners over there maybe, or the farmer. How brilliant is that? The fact you have to walk through that is incredible. Oh wow, I love it. It's absolutely huge, it really is. It's not going to give you justice as to how big this is. Obviously as I walked in you could see that this one is way bigger, and I think they're going to get progressively bigger as we go along. But wow, talk about, it's just nice that these are so easy to access. You know, it's not you're not climbing through loads of stuff, they're just here. Wow, let's have a look at some graffiti. 1880, if you believe that. How amazing. Some more there, looks more modern to me. W, is it? A B or D, X. I wonder if that's so interesting. Not much rubbish on the floor. I mean, they're relatively clean, but the rubbish here is relatively old. I mean, this is sort of storage rubbish, really, that you'd sort of expect. Sort of rusted sort of irons and copper sort of colours coming through, and then there's a couple of holes there and there and there. It's amazing how even just looking at 2, there's so much different character within them. And this cathedral it is a cathedral really of chalk, is simply beautiful. Wow. Looking up, I mean, that's just incredible. well, let's head out and keep looking. This is getting better and better, isn't it? Come on. So what we're now looking at is the natural indent of the quarry face. It's the quarry face that divides the individual caves themselves, or the adits. I'm trying to use the word adit more because it is exactly what that is, but I want to try and be, you know, I want to be correct on it. But here we are, and it literally is what it is. It's this beautiful chalk face, where again, it's like a U shape, so it comes out, comes round here in a natural circle, and then we've got our caves that we saw there, our 2 caves so far, and then we've got the rest that are going this side, and it's absolutely brilliant, and it's a picturesque and beautiful day today. Great for going out and exploring, and like I said, it's so easy to find, so easy to document. It's amazing, and even though I'm technically keeping this location secret, the fact that it's on the main road is strange but cool at the same time. You can see above us that nature and wildlife have started to make their homes in the nest. Also, let me just go back. Little frame there. Yeah. Wonder what that was for. I've got a frame there. No idea on that. Again, in the map that was documented now, like I said, this record that was there was only 2012. This actually was documented as a documentation for historical preservation. So it wasn't really that long ago. And now here I am videoing it as a form of documentation itself, which is very cool. Anyway, onwards. Right, so this is where it's going to start getting funky, because it's when it opens up, and you'll see when we're in there. And again, it's nice that the map of the documentation I found really ties in with this, so it makes it a hell of a lot easier to understand. But let's go inside. Come on, we'll have a look. Wow. So these are these amazing individual chambers that were documented in the 2012 record. Again, the assumption that this was all to do with the mining, that these were little chalk potential adits they'd cut away, and obviously using that chalk for agricultural purposes potentially, or obviously, as we know, chalk has multiple uses, and absolutely amazing. It's simply a wonder to see this, and like I said, this is such a strange one, this, because every one is different. It's got this cathedral-like sort of chambers to it, really. It's again looking down on the floor, lots of like leather belts. Very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have to make notes of that. And these little ones here almost look like little sort of caves. There's 4 of them. Again, for my own notes, the idea is that, as I've mentioned many a time, there'll be 2 separate videos, one for my own records that I keep at home and that I save, and then the secondary records are the ones where I show for you, and the ones that I keep at home are for my own notes, also for, it's just a bit geeky stuff you don't need to know about, but it's me going into extra detail with tying up the documentation to the records that I made, etc, etc. It's a bit sad and a bit pathetic, but yeah, I've mentioned that before. So if you're new to this, I'm a bit of a sad idiot where I record twice. One for my own personal collection of documentation and then one to share with you. Now, let's have a look and see if there's any graffiti. I did see some. There's a G there, that's what I saw. What else is there? Let's have a look in these little, tiny little edits. I'm amazed at the lack of graffiti that's here. Looks like there's been some burning on this one. So maybe there was a fire. I wouldn't be surprised. My shadow there. It's great actually, because even though I've got a torch with me, I'm looking through the camera and not needed to use it once yet. There's some corrugated sheet in there. I wonder if that's, looks like asbestos tiling to me. Looks like it. Is it? Might be. Not sure on that one. Looks a bit like asbestos. Let's have a look at these other ones. Aren't they amazing? And then do the customary looking up. And again, that sort of chimney like bulb effect. Simply stunning. There's a square little hole there as well. Wow. It's so cool that, like I said, the documentation really does tie up with this. So the mapping, and so we're at number 3, and like I said, I think there was 6. Now I say think because in my mind I want to say there was 6. I didn't bring it with me, the record. So I'm thinking 6. I should have remembered 6. So we'll count anyway. So we've got to 3 anyway. So we've got 3 more to go, in theory. Oh, don't want to close up my face. Wow. It's just so big. Come on, let's go. Right. So this is right next doors. So these ones do come up in a cluster on this side. So 3, which we just walked through. 4, which is a tiny little, this is really more like what we define as a cave. Chalk adit. Look at this. Beautiful. Tiny little thing. How amazing. It's just the fact that nature's taking it with it. Look at that. Now, that, everybody, is a pitchfork. Look. Where they've put in, oh, is it a bit of wood, probably? I don't know why they've done that. And then you've got this, I don't know what that is. Is that, it's like wet mould tart? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to touch it for obvious reasons. It was the same here, so I don't know what, do you know what? I don't know what that is. Is it just, it smells very earthy. Sorry about sniffing in the camera. Is that just wet? Is that just wet mould? Am I being really stupid? Because you've got the green, which we normally associate with chalk when it gets wet, and it obviously gets mouldy, and then you've got all that. But yeah, this is really interesting when you look at this. Almost looks like a kiln, but it's not. But it almost looks like one. But you know what that is? I've got a funny feeling I know what that is. That, we'll actually find out. That looks like they've blocked that purposely from in here. So if we go next doors again, Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, so we didn't notice this. So when you come into this one, you see that discoloration there? That discoloration matches with the opposite side. I wonder if that was going to be a potential adjacent link passage into that one. Is that about right? It looks it. Interesting. And yet it's so tiny and it's so beautiful. So, right, we're keeping tracks number 4, isn't it? It's number 4. 2 more. We thinking 2 more? 1. Yeah, 2 more. Ooh. 2. Oh, what's that? Wow. Okay. So, I don't know what we're going to do here. Let's have a look. Oh wow. Okay, this is a bit confusing. For whatever reason, that's almost like a sort of shallow tunnel. It's obviously not going anywhere, and I don't think it's dropping. I just think they've built all this fencing up on this. Look at that. Huh. Wow. We'll walk around for that, I think, to have a look at that. Almost looks like a joining passageway into this opened up section here. Huh. Right, but so it's kind of weird. I suppose it's maybe it's 6. Is it 6? We'll have a look at that one. 5? Not sure now. Right, anyway, we'll have a look at the other one. Come on. Right. So, whew, spider's webs. So that was the shallow one. Yep. And now we're going into another one here. Oh wow. Which is basically the same as number 1 and number 2 that we went in and had a look at. I'm gonna have to sort of count these. See, I thought there was 6. Maybe they're classing it as 6. I'm sort of thinking, maybe. Yeah, this one though, I've just looked. It's got a huge bit of graffiti here, JB. Look at that. And God knows what that says. EG, is it? There's a G there as well. Looks like, is that a K and an L or an I? No idea. That looks more modern. What's that? I'm looking through the camera on that. Is that BB? But yeah, this is incredible. I'm sorry I keep just saying it, but I love my caves. I really do, and my adits. Again, today we're making a change. We're calling them adits, but I'll probably label them as caves. So please don't have a go at me. You know why I'm doing that. But the fact that these were worked on, and obviously behind us, I'll talk about that actually when we go out. Obviously the farm. You know, and the fact that it's not that uncommon round here. But, yeah, crazy. It's just amazing, though. I'm going to look round, though, because I sort of feel like I want to have a look round on the opposite side of what we saw, that almost like that tunnel sort of part there that interlinked into this chalk face. And again, we're looking on the ground, there's bits of wood. But it's yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I'm sure, like I said, some of you probably had been here, but it's just it's just, for me, it's just such a beautiful thing to sort of spend some time. It's like it's a beautiful day out there today. Nature is clearly reclaiming this one bit at a time. Clearly not many people have been in here. If they have, they've done a very good job of being polite and respectful to the land that's here. Oh, look at this. P.S. Are we assuming, or RS? Looks like an R because it's going down, isn't it? RS AUG7. That looks like it wants to be an 8. Can you see that? It's sort of like, it looks like it wants to be an 8. Again, could be wrong on that. Could be a 9. Well, just breathtakingly brilliant. Really is. Oh, more. As I'm looking, 1999 that says. And then there's stuff here. That's an AB or AIB. I'm not sure about that. I'm sure some of you can decode this. An FT. Simply blown away by this place. Really, and again, sorry, look. Oh wow. This one's got loads of really interesting features. George something, N-O, I don't know what that is. George Noy, dog. There's a dog there. Is it dog? 1999 again, that says. Can you see that? 1999. And then MJ. Wow. Absolutely spoiled. Really spoiled. So, this looks like it was a corridor that's linked in what we were looking at into this. Just maybe just a convenient passageway. No idea on that. But truly breathtaking nonetheless, this little corridor. And then, like I said, it goes into this one that's been blocked off. We'll try and have a look a little bit closer, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a shallow tunnel, unless they've tried to block off a hole down there. I can't imagine that being the case, although I could be wrong. Let me look. No, it looks... Let's try and get in a bit closer. Hard to tell. I can sort of see the ground level from there, in that corner, which you probably can't. But I'm sure there's very good reason why they've blocked that off. Anyway, let's get out. Well, what can I say? I've been spoiled, I think. Absolutely spoiled today with just exploring these. So, in conclusion, technically there are 6. So let me just sort of point these out for you. So we were right, really. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if you want to class, well, it'll be classed as 6. Will be the that little one where the fencing is. So 1, just one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Wow. Truly, truly privileged and breathtaking. What a nice little thing for me to tick off today. Yeah, I'm in love with this place, and I will probably return at some point. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I did a good enough job of documenting the caves, adits. You know why, like I said, I labelled it either. But the history of this chalk face that is here, that ties in with the locality of this chalk that we have in Kent, the fact that we're inland, not by the coast, it was man-made. Yeah, for used as probably agriculture. The actual historical records don't really say, but obviously considering this is farming area, farming land, we'd assume that the chalk was being used to repurpose into helping the soil. And yeah, what a beautiful day, what a beautiful exploring. Thank you for coming along with me. And in what words of Phoenix history, because history matters, and it really does, doesn't it? Take care, see you all very soon. Remember to please, if you can, spread the word of the channel, and like the video, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care everybody, come on, because history matters. Kapow.